Folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I've had some people ask me how to do a tutorial on how to make Barbie jewelry. I make little Barbie jewelry sets of earrings and necklaces, so we're going to show you how to do that. First, I'll show you one of the sets I already have finished. Here's the little tiny necklace, and here are the earrings. Barbie always gets dangle earrings from me, though you can make just a post by just putting one bead on the end of your wire and then forming it into the post that goes into the Barbie's ear. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to work on today, and I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so what you'll need is some tiny seed beads. These are just some little cheap 11/aughts, and some beads to form the main part of the necklace and earrings. I got these, I like this little carved one here, out of the Desert Rose collection by Jesse James Beads. I don't think this collection is made anymore, but you just need a larger bead for your focal and some, you don't want them very big. I think these are probably 3s or 4s. And then some seed beads. The other thing you'll need is some ring memory wire, like this, and just some head pins and eye pins. So let's cut the memory wire and we'll get started on the necklace first. So of course this is memory wire, so you want to cut it with memory wire cutters. Always with memory wire cutters, never with anything else. And you want a little bit more than one full wrap around. So we want to cut it, I don't know, about right in here somewhere. So get your cutters out and get into there and cut it. Come on, baby, let me get in there. Where's the end of this one? Okay. So we'll just cut it right about here. Just get your cutters in, find a good spot. You want a little bit more, like I said, than one ring full. Cut it off, and there we have our base for our necklace. Because this is memory wire and Barbie has a small neck, you just turn the ends, put your beads on, and then you can just slide it right onto Barbie's little neck. But to do this, the first thing you want to do is turn one side. Now, I do it this way because I really do not want my beads to fall off of this. So you want the little side of your memory wire mandrel, because you don't want it to be very big. Just get in there, and I've got it backwards because I don't want the big one, I want the little one. So let's get it in there and turn a loop on this side. Now, because this is little, it's sometimes a little bit touchy to work with, but you can do it. A little bit more. We need it to touch because we're using little tiny, there we go, seed beads, and we do not want them to slide off. Or into your circle either. Okay, so now that we've got the circle made, we need to start loading on our beads. So let's pour some of these little ones out. Oh, that's a lot more than I need, but better too much than not enough. Remember, you want to leave this amount down at the bottom of your base. So you need, oh, I don't know, probably, normally I would do this by doing it on the mat, but this is, because this little stuff is so tiny, it's not the easiest thing to do. So just feed beads onto your wire like you would with any other. Pull them around. See if I can get these to do them, pick them up right off the mat, which is easier said than done, because it wants to just fall right back off the loop. So easier just to pick them up, which is not the normal thing with seed beads, but maybe let's find the end. I probably have a teeny touch more wire here than I need, and I'd rather have too much and have to cut some off, or just make it a little bigger than I would to make it smaller. Okay, let's see where about this falls at on this, and it's pretty far up there. We may want one more bead before we stick on these, but that would be it. So we put one more bead on. Well, I hope we put one more bead on. And then we start feeding on the focal beads, which I have chosen a little tiny spacer. This orange. Spacer. Come on, baby. Now I will warn you, working with this tiny wire and these little beads is a little more difficult than working with bigger stuff. You'd think it would be easier, but it's not. We go. Now this is the point where you decide whether it's gonna, if you have too many of the little seed beads on, and I think I probably shouldn't have put that last one on. Well, no, I shouldn't have put the last one on. So because I shouldn't have, let's take it and all of my little pieces here off, back off. And it's much easier to get them off than back on. Okay. Drop that seed bead, and then we'll go back to putting this baby together. Now that we have that back on there, what we want to do is now fill up the other side with seed beads. So let's just start loading them on. Oop, dropped one. See how she's coming along? We'll just keep loading our seed beads on until we get to the place where we want to turn the necklace again to tighten up this other side. And we're almost to that point because you do have to have enough room to turn your loop, but you also want to make sure that you are keeping it when you have the other side, so your little necklace is still centered. Well, that bead doesn't want to go on, so we'll choose a different one. Looks like we need 3 or 4 more beads here. Now if you get too many beads on and you're turning it and it just is not going to do that, these are glass. You can always just snap it with your pliers instead of having to try and unwind it or start over again. You don't want to have to start over again. These little things are a pain in the rear to feed on. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. That looks pretty good. So now what we need to do is just turn the loop again. So we go in with the pliers like we did originally and just turn a loop. Come on, don't be naughty. Now if your loop goes a little crooked on you, just take it and straighten it out. And there we have our necklace. Now we need to get the stuff to finish up our earrings. And I really don't need this many beads out, so I'm going to put a lot of them away. We'll probably only need, probably 3 of each for each earring for the for each earring. So we'll put the rest of them back in the tissue. I'll need to get some a couple of head pins and a couple of eye pins. Okay, so I've got a couple of head pins, and I am going to just cut the tops off of these and make them into an eye pin. I find that's the easiest way to deal with having an eye head or an eye pin. And then these are ball head, a lot longer than I need, but I don't have any gold in a smaller length, so we're going to just use these. And you just thread these on like you would a regular earring. At least these you can do it this way. Makes it a little easier. Now see, now we have a little tiny dangle earring, and we need to put a little loop in the end of this. We need to do the same with the other side. Come on, you want to be difficult. So we have our 2 little earrings most of the way made, and we will now turn the little eye. So I like to use my the smallest of my stepped bell making pliers to make my loops, because I think it makes a much more consistent loop. So we want to put a little bend in these. Then get our bell making plier in there and twist her around. And I'll take her out and wrap her. Just like you would any wrapped earring. Straighten it up some. And now you can use your regular cutters, because this is a regular wire. So trim it off. And tuck this little wire in. Being careful, because these little seed beads are, of course, glass. Okay, there's one done. Now we'll finish the other. My tools out of the way. Now you could just leave them on the bell making pliers to do your wraps. I just prefer to hold them with my regular pliers. It's not a necessity of life to do that. And tuck that little wire in. Now we're going to go on to the last step to our little earrings, and that is making the piece that goes into your Barbie's ear. So to do that, you want to make a loop on one end, and we just want a simple loop on these. So just bend and wrap around. Look, that's not the prettiest one in the world, is it? And since I don't need anywhere near this much wire, I'm going to cut this thing off and start her again. Because quite frankly, I should have just rolled it until it formed a P. I always forget because I usually do wrapped loops, and then just bend it there at the neck, and you can straighten it here if you need to. Now we need one more of those. Actually, I probably have enough wire with these long ones that I could have just used one and used both sides of it. So now what you need to do is estimate how much of a wire you want to go in the ear of your Barbie doll, and then double it. So about right here, and then we'll cut off this. Like I said, I probably had enough I could have just done with what I had here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half. So guesstimate about where half is and then bend it over. If you end up having way too much, that's fine. It cuts really easily. So then just bend it in half like this. Get it good squished. So it's right where it should be. And as you can see, I did have a little too much. So we're going to cut that extra off, being careful not to cut the original wire, so that we can get that up in place. Okay, now then you just open up this like you would any one, slide on your little earring, and close her back up. And there's one of the earrings done. We got to do that to the second. And I'm just going to take it and do a guesstimate like this and just cut it right here. Oop, I probably cut a little more than I needed to, I think, but that's all right. You don't have to have a specific amount of wire. This is just you want to have at least like 1/4 inch, which is I believe what I've got here, and I went and bent it too far again. So we need to cut that little bit off again. And push this down further. open it up and put the wire on the earring on. And there you are, the earrings for your doll. Now let me get out my Barbie so we can put them on her and you can see what it looks like on. This is my model Barbie. She's got little ear posts in, which I just simply made with a pair of little crystals. And as you can see, just a little pair of crystals. She's going to put her new earrings in. Come on, baby, pull your earring out. Oop, got it stuck in her hair. And then this side goes in. Now, if you don't have it squished enough, it sometimes will give you a battle with going in the ear. So this one needs just a teeny touch more squish, it looks like. But you don't want to just leave a single wire here because it's too thin. It'll come right out. So you need to have a double. There we go. Now she has her earrings on. And her necklace just simply opens up and slides around her neck like that. So, what are you doing here? Okay. And there she is with her jewelry on. You can see that. Well, we'll hold her up so you can see her better. Okay, here's our Barbie with her jewelry on. Oops, her necklace slid around to the back. There we go. Necklace and earrings. Now I hope you had fun making these. And like I say, you just need some ring memory wire for her to go around her neck. And some eye pins, some head pins, and some little number 11 seed beads, and whatever small beads you want to use as your decorative pieces. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. This is Rose from In Rose's Garden. Bye-bye.